Morning.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to KPC. Welcome to everyone who's online. It's a gorgeous day today, and a million things are happening at KPC, and I have a few empty seats because everybody's off. So, but for you who are here, I'm glad you're here this morning. And Khenpo is going to be teaching this morning on the 7-line prayer, I believe. Is that correct, Khenpo? Last week he shared his teaching on Guru Rinpoche, so this is a continuation of that. So welcome everyone, and Khenpo is our resident teacher. He's been brought here by our teacher Jetsama Akunlamo, who is also, of course, our founder. So thank you everyone, and there'll be some time for Q&A, I believe, at the end, and then we'll end with a short Chenrezig practice.
Oh, Dunga mebe dewa damba dame drawa juje nire chodan nidan drawe donyan jembola neba churu chi senjen tanjen dewa de devi judan dema juje dunga do dunga juje don drawa juje dunga mebe dewa damba dame drawa juje nire chodan nidan drawe donyan jembola neba churu chi senjen tanjen dewa de devi judan dema dunga do dunga juje don drawa juje dunga mebe dewa damba dame drawa juje nire chodan nidan drawe donyan jembola neba churu chi kanki tenjin drawa jingaba meba chi Jeba meba dame bawa meba dra meba tade demin tunji ma triba nishin shende ba zoda sanje manamji tamba de la shanzo lo ngaji tuji penchen ba manga sanya sipa zonga su denchi nimbe demba bela dadawa pema nobe shala sowa des. Good morning, sir. Welcome to Sunday. Yeah, especially actually Sunday is always we are talking about meditation, but from last week, last Sunday, I think we are talking about on 7 lines prayer. Maybe because the next few maybe or 2 or 3 Sundays will continue. Okay. So Guru Rinpoche, as we always known as unified all the Buddha, past, present, and future Buddhas actually, is it? And also in Pema Katang, himself, stated. So he is the past Buddha and the present Buddha and the future Buddha too, actually. So then last Sunday, we talked about a little bit on his life story, is it? So today, so I will explain about on the 7 lines prayer. So I would like to discuss on origin of this 7 lines prayer, including actually how it was composed and how it's spread. So this, I think, I shall present this through 5 sections, which is the historical background of the 7 lines prayer, And then second one is the identity of its author. And then third one is identity of the translators, or the classification of work or within the karma or the tema, is it? Then fourth one is because the explanation regarding the origin of the title known as the Seven Lines Prayer. Then fifth one is the presentation of its commentary. Because commentary also has many different scholars and masters are the different explanations, different way, I mean. Okay, so the background of this seven lines prayer, which I already mentioned it the last Sunday a little bit, but according to the White Lotus commentary, which is composed by Mipham Rinpoche, okay, it is widely known that the history of this lines prayer, or sometimes we call seven Vajra lines, okay, originates as the words used by Vajradakinis to invite actually Guru Rinpoche to a feast gathering, is it? Or Gana Chakra, sometimes but Gana Chakra is maybe Sanskrit word, or feast or offering. It's, I think, English word. How and where actually this happened? Actually, long time ago, at the monastery of Nalanda. It's located in Bodh Gaya, near to Bodh Gaya, which is Buddha achieved enlightened, or become a Buddha. So from that place to Nalanda, I think maybe 200 or 300 kilometers. So Nalanda, actually one of the main Buddhist school, or we can say university, at the ancient time, I mean, when Buddha was alive, at that time, there's actually two major main schools. One is Nalanda, one is Bikrama Shiri Temple, or Tulakang, which means temple actually, Tulakang. Vikrama Shiri Tulakang, and one is Nalanda. These two are the main, I mean, Buddhist school at that time. Okay, so this one is happening in Nalanda. Okay, Nalanda, actually 500 non-Buddhist teachers or masters came to debate with the Buddhist scholars or masters. Yeah, at that time, I think those non-Buddhists are also very, how to say, educated. So many educated person, like Shankar Acharya. Maybe we all heard this name, is it? Shankar Acharya is actually one of the Hinduism's second Buddha, actually. This one is actually happening in between 7th and 8th century. Okay, so I'm giving example actually. Okay, well-educated person in Hinduism. One is actually very famous, the Shankar Acharya. Okay, so he was actually very educated and very known as a master in Hinduism actually. once he, how to say, committed, commit, promise, kind of like that, promise he want to debate those Buddhist masters. So then he got this news spread all over the region. So then there is one Chandrakirti, Chandrakirti is actually, he born in Hinduism, but later he become a Buddhism. He born in Kerala, it's South India. So once he was a kid, he went to Hinduism school. So he learned about Hinduism. And then he found actually his goal is to achieve arhat, actually, arhat, or become a Buddha. So in the later he found in the Hinduism path, there's no way to achieve Buddhahood. So then he want to try to find a Buddhist teacher. So around that days in West Bengal, West Bengal is actually Western India. That days in West Bengal is so popular about Buddhism actually at that time. So then he found there's one teacher who called actually Lopin Chushong, Dharma protector, kind of like that. If we translate that word, Chushong is Dharma protector. So he found a master called Dharma protector. So then he went there and then he learned so many, about Buddhism, especially debate. And then Shankar Acharya at that time, he was in a kind of that you can say central India. It's called Orissa or Odisha, something like that. So there is so many, also Tibet custody Buddhist followers and many masters, but those masters actually they already know they can't defeat, they can't win with Kasa Shankar Acharya, but ego, so they can't invite other sides masters, like Odisha is a different center India. So Kerala and West Bengal is, so Kerala is the south side, West Bengal is west side. So they don't want other side masters come to their own place and then beat the other masters. So then they just tried debate with Shankar Acharya. Not only the Shankar Acharya, he's one of the main disciple who is actually called Bhatra Acharya. So who is also very well educated about in Hinduism actually. So around that days, so then those Buddhist scholar or masters are actually they lose. So then once he want to go to Nalanda, Shankar Acharya, and debate with masters or because Nalanda's teacher or scholars. So at that days, I think the Kasa, Dharma Kirti. I'm talking about Dharma Kirti, not Chandra Kirti. Around that days, I think Shantarachita, who went actually Tibet, then maybe Chandrakirti also maybe pass away around that days. So of course there's many other masters in Nalanda at that time, but most of those masters actually already know the Shankara Acharya is actually very, how to say, well educated and also very powerful with the magic. So they can't actually win or defeat. So then they invited the Dharma Kirti to come to Nalanda and debate with Shankar Acharya. So they actually debate 7 years. Yeah, not only 1 year or 2 years. Yeah, so continuously 7 years. So then there's a two different story or history. Some are saying when they debate, they cast a bet. Okay, after if I lose, I will follow you. If you lose, you have to follow me. Similar like that, because then other days like that, bet. So then after 7 years, the Shankar Acharya actually lost. Yeah, so some story are saying after that he followed the Dhammakiti and he left all the Hinduism. So he converted to Buddhist. So this is the one side story. Then another story. Then he lose from Kasa, lose to Dharmakiti. So then he can't accept that, Then he went to Varanasi and he jumped to the Ganga. Yeah, so he died actually. Before he died, he called his one of the disciple, Bhatra Acharya. So he gave advice or order to him. You have to also, debate with Dharmakiti. Yeah, otherwise we lose, over religion. I mean, yeah, he is so powerful, and also he knows everything. I mean, Dharmakiti. So then he will become in his next life your son. I will, reborn in your son like that. So in a story, are saying 3 times he, rebirth. So his 3 lifetime debate with Dharmakiti actually. So after his, third life, then he accept. Yeah, now I can accept. I lose, so I can convert. So this is 2 different history actually. So I'm giving example, So because when we debate with other religions or other persons, we have to know what they are thinking or what their views, So similar like that here also, when the Guru Rinpoche invited Nalanda, so there's 5 non-Buddhist teachers are, debate. So then those Buddhist teachers are actually losing in debate or in magic, competition. Yeah, so then it's a said when the Buddhist pentateurs found themselves unable to defeat them in debate, then Dakini is called actually the supreme peaceful one appeared to most of them in a matching in dream actually. Okay, so in text saying 500 pentita at the same dream actually. In the dream, there's one Dakini, came and then she advised to those 500 Pandita, without if you not invite Kasang Guru Rinpoche, then you can't actually win over those non-Buddhist masters. So you have to invite Guru Rinpoche. So then next day they discussed about what they dreamed, So those 500 Pandita are saying the same dream actually. So then at that time, Guru Rinpoche is, some story are saying he lived in Saho, which is Chopema. Mandi, we call Mandi. It's I think, eastern India. But some are saying Guru Rinpoche is Kasa. At that time, he lived in one of channel ground. But between Nalanda, that channel ground is too far and also not easy to travel. So those masters are, no idea how to invite Guru Rinpoche here because the road is not, like 2 days and also difficult to travel there. So then don't have any idea. So then just again they slept at that night. Then also they dreamed the same, message from a Dakini. So then Dakini actually told them in dream actually, you don't need to travel where Guru Rinpoche lived, you can just prepare those offering things on the roof on the temple. So then just pray these 7 lines. So these 7 lines actually came from Dakini, okay, blessed by Guru Rinpoche. So then next day, then they prepare those offering things, So then after that, Guru Rinpoche actually came to Nalanda. So it's said actually Guru Rinpoche appeared on the sky actually. Yeah. So it said, Jakini said, arrange extensive of offering on the roof of the temple, and with a great devotion, incense and music, pray together in a single voice with this invocation. And then she taught the 7 lines prayer. Okay. After they follow with her instructions, Guru Rinpoche instantly appeared from the sky and presided over the 500 great scholars. He defeated the 500 non-Buddhist teachers through actually scripture and logic. Yeah. When they subsequently challenged him with the actually magical power, they said 5,000 different magics. They competed computation each other actually. Yeah, so then after that also Dakini Sinhamukha. Okay, sometimes we can call Dakini Sendongma. Okay, with line face. Okay, Sendongma handed over the copper casket and commanded that the heretic be subdued. Accordingly, he unleashed thunderbolt and completely eradicated. Okay, all the non-Buddhists, those who participated, those who remained were converted to Buddhist path. and these prayers subsequently flourish every way, okay, as it has been said actually. Then this is the, how Kasa composed or how flourished this 7 lines prayer, okay, composed actually by Dakini, but what we can say blessed by Guru Rinpoche, like the prayer of the sutra, the short one, you know, yeah, short one sutra actually composed by Avalokiteshvaraya, but blessed by Buddha himself. Okay, similar like that actually. So then second one is actually identity of its author, the many masters of the past and present, and included the Khenchen Jimen Punzoro, yeah, have actually stated with the one voice that this 7-line prayer was actually not intentionally composed by an ordinary person. Okay, instead, it is the natural resonance of Vajra sound, which emerges from the expanse of unborn nature of phenomena, which is Dhamma Dhatu, and arises as the unceasing display of the enjoyment body, which is Sambhokaya actually, okay? So, yeah, identity of author, which we can say Guru Rinpoche, yeah, but in a text saying like that, okay? And then third one is the identity of translator, the classification of work within the Karma and the Tema. In the White, actually, Lotus commentary said actually when Guru Rinpoche arrived in Tibet and established the Buddha's teaching, he bestowed, then opened the sovereign and his subject who possessed the fortunate karma with future generation in mind, and he concealed them as treasure. Consequently, there is almost no hiding treasure in which those 7 Vajra lines do not actually appear. So we can say this prayer is karma and also tema, both. Yeah. So then, as it has been stated, the master Guru Rinpoche, it's the same master himself, which is, I think, Guru Rinpoche himself, okay, translated this prayer from Sanskrit to actually Tibetan, okay, and bestowed it upon the 25 disciples, which is Guru Rinpoche's the main, disciple, okay, Jianbang Nian, okay, it's actually categorized as the transmitted teaching karma, yet because he hide it with future generation, then also it becomes, tema. So both, karma and tema. Then moreover, if one wonder which script or language should be translated, then it's said in Jimen Punzo, Khenchen Jimen Punzo Rinpoche, actually he said, in the past among the Dakini, there was a tradition of reciting these 7 lines prayer and Vajra Guru mantras, like, every mantra, I think, okay? In their own, symbolic language, in the past, okay? But most of the mantras the Tibetan, those what we call the translators, they never translated into Tibetan language. Okay, the most mantras. Yeah. So then said why they didn't, I mean, translated all those mantras into Tibetan. So then said in the future when we become a Buddha, the Buddha the when he turned the Dharma wheel at that time, then Buddha have to teach in something language, So then said, in the future, any of Buddha become a Buddha and turn the Dharma and teach. When they teach Dharma, then they have to teach Dharma in Sanskrit, actually. Okay? So when we reciting all those mantras, we are not, reciting mantras in Tibetan, actually. We are reciting those mantras in Sanskrit. Whether we learn Sanskrit or not, sometimes, of course, not matching, like, Banza. Yeah, in Sanskrit, sometimes Vajra, they call Vajra, sometimes they call Bajra. Yeah. So there's many words not really, matching, actually. But so it's a said one of why they how to say not translated those mantras into Tibetan. So we used to get habit in Sanskrit word, actually. So then we can something achieve bless. Okay, in the future, able to receive teachings in Sanskrit. So reason of that, they just, put it like that way. So every Tibetan book, you can see from the starting, you can say Jarga Ketu, which means Indian language. So comes before, Tibetan language come up Indian language, which means Sanskrit language. Yeah. Anyway, so here saying Khenchen Jimyen Punzo, in the past among the Dakini, there was a tradition of reciting. Okay, so Guru mantras or any other mantras in their own, symbolic language. However, nowadays none of us are able to speak, traditional symbolic language of the Dakinis. So therefore, when we reciting this 7 lines prayer, okay, say Khenchen Jimyen Punzo actually said, request us, please do so based on the Tibetan language. Those are the very words that Guru Rinpoche himself actually promised to bless and consecrate it. So reason of that, those 7 lines prayers, we should, pray in a Tibetan language, I mean. Yeah. So this is, requesting by, Khenchen Jimyen Punzo, actually. Yeah. If one wonder whether it's impossible to chant the 7-line prayer in the symbolic language of Dakinis, the answer is that it can indeed be chanted. The emanated treasure revelers, Tetun, Tibetan we call Tetun, okay, treasure revelers possess the knowledge to do so regarding the symbolic script of the Dakinis, there are actually 32 distinct form of symbolic writing corresponding to the 32 primary region of the Dakinis. So when we talk about Dakinis language, then many Dakinis language, So which one is the correct one? We don't know. Because all that those, according to, they said, the way, especially where the Vajrayana teachings are spread, which is actually 24 different main location. So according to our the secret place, okay. So there's many different languages, okay, Dakini language. Although this 7-line Vajra prayer has been renewed in all those symbolic language since ancient time, okay. None of the eminent treasure revelers traditionally taught it in the Dakini symbolic language or symbolic tongue, actually. Instead, they taught it in the Tibetan language. Therefore, we should always, recite it in Tibetan. Then they said that that must be the case. If this one is the case, then, for example, if we consider a country like India, there is a saying 300 something, 360 something different languages, different scriptures. Yeah, written in India, actually, only. Okay. So among them, most are quite, distinct from one another, with the only manner, similarity. Okay. So it seems, there was a likely no single language that was universal common. So regarding the present context, when discussing the region where the secret mantra flourished and in ancient India and their respective language, then the 24 regions and 22 sides are well known, but some texts are saying 24 regions and 32 sides. It's a different, but most of them are almost the same. Okay, within those areas, many different languages and scripture come to exist. Like, regarding their existence, it is just as the explained within the, treatises of the secret mantras. There are 24 external secret places and 24 internal secret places, actually different. Okay. Along with those yogi and yoginis, daka and dakinis who actually located or reside within them, actually. So then, like normally we pray the Yumka, okay? In Yumka, they have, Shivun Zalendara, In Yumka, I think starting the feast, Gana Chakra, okay? We do the 3 part. So that from there you can find, okay, 24 outer, secret place, okay, which is in Jalendara. The place is like, it's a saying located in northern India, like Punjab. Okay, Jalendhara. So different, Then Puli Ramala, which is in Kerala, it's way, far. So Punjab language is different. Kerala language is different. So which is the Dakini language? So we don't know, So that's why they say, there's many different Dakini languages. Then the 7 lines prayer also, different languages have at that, in the ancient time, I mean. So then Puliramala is Kerala, then Arputa is Rajasthan. Okay, it's kind of central India. Then Rameshwara is in Tamil Nadu. Tamil, they call Tamil Nadu. It's south actually. But Kerala and Tamil also, different language. Rameshwara, then Udiyana, which is, I think, Pakistan or maybe Afghanistan, somewhere. Okay, so it's very far each other, So then also different language. And the Godavari, the Godavari, one is in Maharashtra, one is in Nepal. Okay, which one is the real Godavari? We don't know. But some masters saying, Godavari, that the Nepal one is the real one. Some are saying that the Maharashtra, which is in Mumbai, one is the real one. Okay, then Devi Kota, which is in West Bengal. Okay, then Malawa, which is Madhya Pradesh, is I think central India. Then Lambaka, which is in Afghanistan, actually. Okay. Then Kamarupa, which is northern eastern part of India. These days they call Assam. Then Odra, which is in Orissa. Okay, eastern India, where Ashoka became a first time he renowned, because he recognized who is him. Who is him? What do we call? He knows whom he is. Yeah. Because Ashoka, before that, he's a king, emperor. He killed many, people. So when he arrived at Orissa, there's one place which is also the secret place, okay, Kalinga. So where he killed, I think, many people. After that, he saw so many bloods. So then he got a regret, actually, what he had done, Not only that time, he killed, so many, before, many years, he fight each other because he wants, everything. Yeah, so this one is in Orissa, okay, Odra, we call. Then Tisakuni, which is in Kerala, and Kosala, which is in south central in Uttar Pradesh, UP. It's very near to Varanasi, okay? And then Kalinga in Orissa, actually, okay? What I told. Then Kansi, which is southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu, or it's a Tamil, what we call Tamil. Then Himalaya. It's actually huge, actually, Himalayas. We can't say Himalaya, so especially this is the located Himalaya. But Himalayas from, I think, Kashmir to Sikkim, then Ladakh, then Nepal. Yeah. Then Pretapuri or Tetapuri. This one is in between. It's a saying in between India, Tibet border. Okay, Tretapuri. Then Grihadevas. Grihadeva. It's a saying Khotan in Central Asia, which is I think in Malaysia. Yeah, or in Indonesia. Yeah. Okay. And then Meru, which is in Uttarakhand, near to Nepal, India border. Okay. Then one is in Saurashtra, which is in Gujarat, and one is Sarvanadivata, is actually Indonesia. Okay, Southeast Asia. Then Nagara, which is not a Negri Fall. Nagara, which is in I think in Karnataka, South India. Okay. Then Kulata is in Orissa. Sindhu. Sindhu, they call actually, Sindhus came from actually Mount Kailasha through Ladakh, Kashmir, like that way. Okay. So in they say the Sindhu, where is the located? Then they said Jammu and Kashmir. These are the actually outer Karsa, outer 24 secret place. Okay. Then it comes inner. Inner, which means within ourselves, actually. Or those secret 24 places within us, actually. Okay. So it's not saying by just an ordinary person like us, you know. It's saying by Jime Lingpa. Okay. He actually mentioned it. There's 8 celestial about this, about Kashu. In Tibetan, we call Kashu. Okay, so then the crown, which is actually Zalendara. Okay, Shuon Zalendara. Then between eyebrow, maybe this one, I don't know. Okay, Puli Ramalawa. Then nape. What is nape? Nape. Is it navel? What do we call? Napes. Maybe, yeah, back, which is Arbuda. Then Urna, which is, I think, Uma, which is, I think, somewhere here in the center, I think. Okay, Rameshwara. Yeah. Then right ear is Odiyana. Then left ear is actually Godavari. Okay. Then Devi Kota is actually eye is I think Devi Kota. Then shoulder is Malawa. Those are the actually 8 celestial about this. Then 8 earthly about this. Sashi in Tibetan we call. Okay. The throat is actually Lambaka. Okay. Then underarm and kidneys are actually Kamarupa. The 2 breasts are Odra, and the navel is actually what we call Ta, is it? Navel. Tewa, okay, Tewa, yeah, navel. Tewa. Tewa is actually what they said. Navel is, yeah, Trisakuni. The nose is Kosala. Then what is the palate? What is the palate? Okay, that one is actually Kalinga. The heart is Karsa, Kanchi. Then heart is actually both Kanchi and Himalaya. Okay, then 8 underground above this, which is saying the genitals, is it? Are Pritapuri, Tetapuri. The anas is Grahadeva. the thumbs and the big toes are Meru. Then the ticks are, Surastra. The curves are Sarvana Devpa. Then 16 other fingers and toes are Nagara. The knees are Kulata and ankles are Sindhu. So this is the inner and outer 24 secret place. Okay, you can find in the actually the Yumka book. Okay, so even if one were to learn according to the symbolic language of the Dakinis, well, the Dakinis themselves would comprehend the meaning, other would fail to understand, the words and the significance. Even if a few words were understood, it will be like the mantra of like Guru Tapo, Atiniti Namu Bangawati Hong Pe. Sometimes we call Omani Peme Hong or Benzang Guru Pema Siddhi Hong. The some mantras a similarity, but most of the, because different locations, different language, different scriptures, so, we can't, understand each other, Yeah, so it's a saying like that way. Then which no one understand. If the Tibetan words need to be explained, we are all certainly capable of explaining them to give an analogy for the nature of the Dakinis symbolic language, although there are generally many local dialogues in over the Tibetan, within the Tibetan also, we have many different languages, but most of the, Tibetans are common language, which is, we can speak each other and can understand, because all the Tibetan scripture is the only one. There's no different. But a little bit pronunciation is a little bit different. Other than that, it's the same. But in India, you can find, each region or each state, a different scripture, totally different. Yeah. So reason of that, this 7 lines prayer, Guru Rinpoche himself actually translated, 7 lines prayer into, Tibetan. Okay? So they're saying like that, Then number 4, which is an explanation of the title known as actually 7 lines prayer, regarding how the title was given. Anyone can easily actually understand, this one is. Because it's a self only, have 7 lines. Yeah, so it's easy because some books give name by quantity. Some, name with a meaning. Some name give with some example, like a sun, a moon, like that way. A different way they give names. This one is just, easily understand that it was named based on the number of lines. As the prayer itself consists of the 7 lines or 7 verses, you can say that. And indeed, that is the case. The Mipam Rinpoche actually stated that this 7-line Vaja, prayer, supplication is the king of all prayers to the great and glorious one of Odiyana, which is, Pemakara. Sometimes Guru Rinpoche name called Pemakara. Sometimes Guru Rinpoche, okay? Sometimes Pemanjungni. There's many different names himself, okay? Choche Doji, Odiyana, who is the essence of all the Buddha of the 3 times. Though this, he not only clarity identified the title of the seven lines prayer, but also from the sadhana of the seven lines revealed as the treasure by Pema Kangchime Yungjuk Lingba. It says, invoked by the spontaneously melody of the seven lines and evoking the benefit of being with the sound of the seven lines. Since such references appear frequently, we know that prayer was titled according to the number of its lines. However, if one thinks that the title was assigned solely because it appears as seven external lines of verses, that is not necessarily certain. It is says in the same source, the roots of them all is the seven lines, the seven collection of consciousnesses of the ground, the seven factors of enlightenment, which is the yeah, bodhi yanga, which is during the path, and the complexion of seven ultimate jewels as the fruit. When considering this statement, it seems the title, Seven Lines Prayer, is established not only by the external word, but also its internal meaning, which is correlated with the three stages of ground, path, and fruit. In Tibetan we call Yi, Lam, Jebu. Okay, then the main meaning of those seven lines. Okay, then they have a different way, how to say, explanations. Okay, they said Khenchen Jimen Punso regarding this practice of achieving Guru Rinpoche through the seven lines prayer. There are 5 ways of explaining its commentary. One is outer approach of supplication, and second one is inner approach related to the generation stage. The third one is secret approach according to the path of liberation. The fourth is most secret approach according to the path of a method. Then fifth one is ultimate approach connected to the pitch or pit. Menga is pit instruction of the great perfection, which is Dzogchen, Dzogpa Chenpo or Dzogchen. So 5 different way actually explaining on this 7 lines prayer. Okay, so we are not going all those 5, but it's important to know, which is actually how many different way that we can how to say practice, or we can understood this 7 lines prayer. Okay, but here I think the outer approach of supplication is mostly we need that one. It's also important to know. Okay, all of this can be explained using only the words of 7 lines prayer itself, or without needing to patch in other verses, or without needing any other verses, adding more like that. We don't need actually add more than 7 lines itself, actually enough. If someone who really understand what is the 7 lines prayers real meaning, then those 7 lines prayer is enough to achieve Buddhahood. Actually, we can say that if we know real the meaning of 7 lines prayer. It's sometimes of course difficult to understand meaning of every word, because like they said outer secret place, inner secret place, which is like us, is really not really make sense, is it? Yeah, sometimes difficult to understand what is kasa outer and inner secret place. So it's a difficult to understand meaning. But when we go deeply in secret teachings like Tantriyana, so Tantriyana itself in 6 different sections. Okay, each sessions more goes deeper and deeper. If we go deeperly, then we understand more. You know. So yeah, right now we are just a how to say learner, not really the practitioner. Although we can sometimes we call a practitioner, Buddhist practitioner, or any religion we can say practitioner. Yeah. Yeah, if we know really the meaning of the teachings, then yeah, it's easy to call practitioner. Yeah. That said, yeah, so it on content provides a complete explanation of all those meaning based upon that statement, and following the explanation in Jamgyal Mapam Rinpoche's White Lotus commentary. Okay, 7 lines prior to the Guru. Shisonde Jumi Tsidens. There are to present this briefly, according to the White Lotus commentary, the invocation begin with the self-arising set, seed, sorry, syllable of the enlightened mind, like whom, or whom. Sometimes Tibetans are, how to say, you can hear when they reciting the mantras, okay? Sometimes they call whom, just, yeah, they add like M, okay? Because you can find on the top of ha, you can find a bindu, like a dot, which is actually kasa, represent M, ma. Tibetan call ma, okay? So that's why sometimes they call whom, but sometimes they call whom. Yeah, but I think most of the it's the same, maybe meaning same, but a little bit different how they pronounce. Okay, whom actually, which is they said kasar, sit syllable of heart, or we call tuk, Tibetan call tu, heart. Is it? Yeah, heart is actually represent of actually Dhammakaya. Okay, Dhammakaya, which means actually emptiness. So then all the appearance, what we see, what we heard, what we taste, what we feel, touch, all can within emptiness. Okay, which is emptiness is main cause of everything, all the phenomena. Okay, then itself nature is emptiness. So that's why I call Dhammakaya or emptiness. Okay, this is actually represent all the phenomena's nature actually. Okay, or sometimes itself 3 syllable like om which is represent Buddhas or teachers or ourselves. It also have, sometimes we can explain honor, outer, inner, secret way. Okay, Om Ahu itself. When we explaining in ordinary, like a common, then we can say those three syllables represent ordinary peoples, ordinary beings, body, speech, mind. Okay, then when we talk about inner, which is actually those Buddha and Bodhisattvas, body, speech, mind. Okay, then secret, then Lama, Yidam, Khandro, three roots actually. Okay, three root. So there's many ways to explain all those. Each syllable is actually very meaningful. When we praying, first then we can visualize. Then to reflect or remember, okay, or those meaning, what is, represent body, speech, mind, or Lama Yidam Khandro, all this way. Okay? So this is then the first line, Ujin Yujin Nujon Sam. Okay? Ujin Yujin Nujon Sam. We begin actually then Hong Ji Nujon Sam. This word of actually Zambuling, which is actually the right now where we are. Okay, this is in Tibetan words we call Zambuling. Is actually southern part of the Mount Meru. Actually, southern part. We are in a southern part. Hlo Zambuling we call. Hlo is actually southern part. Then Zambuli, how this name came actually. Then they said there is in the near to the Mount Meru, there is a tree. Okay, tree has a lot of fruits actually. Then one day the fruit falling into the sea. So then it sounds come up, zum. Zum. So through that, the southern part, Kasa gave the name Zambuling, which is, through the sound. So we are in the south side. So here is the Ojin Yujin Yonsam, which is in Zambulis, located to the south of Mount Meru. Among its virtues, devotion, such as the sixth region, there lies in the west the abode of the Vidyadhara, known as Odiyana, actually, Odiyana, which is located in Afghan or maybe in Pakistan, but most of they said Afghanistan, is it? Yeah, but Chatar Rinpoche is he found a different, Odiyana. Yeah, in India, actually, somewhere. But of course, those they said, if we want to go pure line or Devachen, you don't need to actually go somewhere, Right now, this place is actually Devachen. Is it? Yeah. Devachen, which means know the place, where place is not those, affliction emotions, actually. That is Devachen. Yeah, once we can, remove all the affliction emotions within us, we have right now, we have a hatred, jealousy, all kind of things. So once we can remove all those, then yeah, we are in actually Devachan right now. So that's it. So you can find Devachans in every way actually. So those masters can find Sandopari or the Odiyana. They can find maybe different locations. I don't know which one is the right one. On the northwestern um, land of Dakini, there is actually water which we called Danakosha, okay, which is the name of the sea or name of the river, not river, the sea, lake, okay, yeah, name of the lake, okay, which possess the 8 qualities of purity. The water, what we say, if water have those 8 qualities, then that water is like siddhi or amrita actually, okay, yeah. Oh, so this lake is the actually natural embodiment of the queens of expanses of emptiness, who is the endowed with all the supreme aspect, even in ordinary perceptions. It is place rich in manifold perfection attributes. So many qualities actually itself, that water or lake. So then in the middle of that lake, Pema Kesa Dombola. Normally we pray like that, in the middle of that lake, which is completely filled with a garden of lotus flower. Okay? So it is a supreme lotus of the exquisite beauty in its petal and filaments. From its stem grew 5 flowers of 5 distinct colors that represent 5 wisdom or 5 Buddha. Okay, so this is inner. They're talking inner. Okay, if we call outer, then you can say those 5 colors or 5 the petal or what petals represent 5 poisons. Okay, but here saying it's just talking about inner or secret. Okay, 5 Buddha family or 5 wisdoms. Okay, at the center of those 5 is the red heart of the lotus family. Then Yansen Chogi Ngudunyi, Yansen Chogi Ngudunyi, regarding the extraordinary and wondrous manner in which he became the supreme subject of marvelous renown throughout the 3 worlds, one should develop faith in the life story of this Guru Rinpoche Opemakara, the second Buddha, as it is described in the authoritative scripture of the Kama and Tema lineage. This great being did not merely possess ordinary accomplishment. He is primordially, primordially, and perfectly enlightened. This protector has attained supreme masters and has reached the state of great Vajradhara, the level of ultimate union. Okay, then Pemanjuni Shestra. So the person's call name Pemanjuni. He is, or he was. I think he is. Okay. Yeah, he is actually famously known throughout the vast expanses of infinite realms of Pema Sambawa, or Guru Rinpoche, or Pema Njuni, or Choche Doji. There's many names. Okay, we identify him along with his returning as the quintessential embodiment of all sources of refuge, the ultimate and fallible protections with unwavering conviction. We recognize him as the supreme object of our prayer, which is especially the 7 lines prayer. More than that, I think that any kind of Vajra, practices, okay? So we have to think before that, Guru Rinpoche actually, Without Guru Rinpoche, I think we will not able to, even, one single word heard. The blessings of Guru Rinpoche, then those Jamyang Shana Doji Chenrezig, which is emanate or emanation, I don't know. Those 3, Jamyang is the wisdom God, and Chenrezig is Avalokiteshvaraya, and Chana Doji is Vajrapani. Okay, these 3 are actually came actually Chana Doji, Jambeya, Chenrezig, the most of the human realms, okay, the Chenrezig is Avalokiteshvaraya. He spread all the Vajrayana teaching, okay. Then Chana Doji, he taught all kind of nagas or Rakshas realms, okay. Then wisdom Buddha, Jambeyan, who Menzushiri, who went actually the God realms. So these 3 are the main teacher, emanate, okay, emanate of Guru Rinpoche, or you can say Kundu Zombo or Kundu Zommo. So they decided to spread the Vajrayana teachings. Okay, then of course there's one place which is in Sri Lanka, okay, that is Rumalaya. The first, we can say first in public. Okay, today maybe we can use that word in that way. Of course, Buddha, he teach the tantric or Vajrayana, but very secretly, not really in public. Okay, so then after, I think they said it's a history, after Buddha passed away, the 110 years later, actually, because before that, there is a 5 disciple, okay, from reborn from different realms. So they actually believed when they before they went to meditate, okay, so there is actually Buddha is alive. So they believe Buddha can control everything. Buddha can, spread all the teachings. So they don't need to worry about that. So they went to secret place and meditate for many, many years. So then after that, when they, stopped meditate, It almost, been many years actually, near to 100, maybe 110 years. So then they heard about the Buddha is already passed away, 110 years ago. So then they feeling sad actually, the teacher, passed away. So then through the magic or through the power of meditation, they gathered together in that place, the mount, what we call Rivu Malaya. We call Malaya in Sri Lanka. So they gathered together there. Then they discuss, kasa parinirvana of Buddhas. Then they feel sad, crying. They saying things like why you went parinirvana and who lead us, like that. They said 21 different sadness word.
Lamentation.
Yeah. Then from the sky, Vajrapani, who appeared in front of them. Then they requested to teach the Vajrayana teaching. So then Vajrapani, he taught those 5 disciples the Vajrayana teaching the first time in public, like that way. Then Vajrayana teachings are spread. Okay? So some are saying Sandopari is that one. Yeah. Because it's really similar, because that place is called Raksha. Okay? Raksha, the land of Russia. So in the before, in the Hinduism also very related. When there is a call, there is one of the Karsa festival. Okay? That what we call with the Raksha 10 hat. Yeah. So they actually believe that Russia's place is Sri Lanka. Yeah, similar like that in our, history, also very, very similar to that. However, yeah, Pema Junesia stars, Pema Karas. Okay, then Koda Kando Mombuko se. Okay. Okay. Yeah, can we stop here? Pema Junesia stars. Maybe we can stop here. Okay. Pema Junesia stars. Trinkara. Yeah. Pema Junesia stars. Koda Kando Mombuko. So we are just explaining only halfway. Okay, maybe it's okay. Next time we can start again, okay? From here. Oh yeah. People are still believing, Guru Rinpoche is still alive. Because when he left, Tibet, then at the end, yeah, he said, I have to go to, land of Russia to protect this world. So then after that, the end of, the story never mentioned he died. Yeah, so then maybe people are saying, Guru Rinpoche is still in Rakshas, the land of Russia, protecting us. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it's difficult to believe. Just kidding. Of course, those masters, they actually achieve long waiting. What do we call that?
Longevity.
Yeah, deadless. We can say deadless. Yeah, Tibetan we call Chenrezig. Actually, when you achieve first bhumi, okay, the bodhisattvas bhumi. So you achieve actually deadless. Yeah, yeah. It's in your hand actually. You want to die or you want like live. Yeah. So that's why when the Buddha nearly passed away before 2 months or 3 months, okay, actually he decided to, the end. But the two of his disciple, I think Shariputra or Mangaputra, they actually requested, to live the more days. So the Buddha actually add 2 months. Actually, they can choice or choose. They can choose actually. That's why the Shantrarachita, you can see that those historic of those master, Shantrarachita. Some are saying he lives, 700 years. Yeah, some are saying that he lives 300 years. Yeah, because they achieved that, deadless siddhi. Siddhi, accomplishment. Yeah. So once if, someone can, someone achieve the deadless, then, yeah, you can choose, whether you leave or not. Like in Khenchen Jimien Punso, he said he never come back in this world. Yeah, so he said, you don't need, how to say, recognize my reincarnation because I don't want to come to this world. Yeah, so that's why we never found his reincarnation since many, many years ago, Like, Chatra Rinpoche. Yeah, he also said like that. Yeah. Also, we believe Mipham Rinpoche in his actually his story. Yeah, we can say his life story. At the end, he actually mentioned it. He have to go another world. So he don't want to come to this world. So because his disciples are waiting for me another world. So that's the reason he never come. But yeah, we also find some the reincarnation of Mipham Rinpoches, but could be because those bodhisattvas or Buddhas, they can karsa multiple
Emanation.
yeah multiple emanate can be. Yeah, also body, speech, mind, sometimes we can say reincarnation of body, reincarnation of speech, and mind. So that's why Chenrezig Rinpoche, Chenrezig. There's many Chenrezig, you know. Jamyang Chenrezig, Tungon Chenrezig, Tenikara, one of the Jiji Chenrezig. So you can find many Chenrezig. So then said, so one is body, mind, speech, like that, you know. It can be, but you know, itself in his story are saying like that way. But yeah, so it's a difficult, I mean, okay. So once we achieve deathless, the accomplishment or siddhi, then you can choose, okay. Yeah, because through the compassion and love, kindness, you know, so they can live forever. Yeah, because they are not dependent on karma. So once they achieve first bhumi, so then there's one great master, he actually mentioned it. Okay, then why those bodhisattvas come again and again this world? Yeah, if they're not dependent on karma, then he said, you know, they can, through by aspiration, through by compassion. This is, you know, different ordinary and bodhisattva born in samsara. You know, that like we always giving example lotus. Okay, lotus actually came from mud, is it? But lotus itself looks very clean. You know, like that. You know, bodhisattvas, you know, born in samsara, but they are, how to say, clean by affliction emotions. Okay. Okay, so now we can go this 7 lines prayer, and then Avalokiteshvaraya, reciting a little bit, Mani Padme Hum, then dedication. Okay. Yeah, from English we can read, or today we read Karsa. Tibetan. Normally we read the English, is it? Yeah. Okay, so Jin Yuji Nubjan Sam Pema Kesara Dombola Yanzin Chogi Rodronye Pema Jone Jesu Ta Kodo Kando Mombe Ko Cheje Jesu Da Duchi Shinje Lashi Shesu So Guru Pema Sede Ho Om Ahum Denzang Guru Pema Sede Ho. Then Kasa, the Avalokiteshvaraya in English, okay? Your 1,000 arms and 1,000 universe monarch, your 1,000 eyes, the 1,000 Buddhas of this fortunate age, you who teach each and every one of us according to our needs, Lord Avalokiteshvaraya, to you I pay homage. Om Mani Padme Hum Shri, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Omani beme By this virtue, may all swiftly accomplish the state of Chenrezig, and may all sentient beings without exception be placed in that very state. By this effort, may all sentient beings be free of suffering. May the mind be filled with natural virtue. In this way, may all causes resulting in suffering be extinguished, and only the light of Chenrezig shining throughout all realms. Oh yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Khenpo. That's wonderful teaching. I have a couple of announcements this morning. On April 18th and 19th, we had the great good fortune to have Khenpo Norgay Rinpoche here with us to give empowerments and teachings. And on the first day, Saturday, starting at 10 o'clock, there'll be a Guru Rinpoche empowerment. So please tell people that this is a wonderful opportunity. The empowerments that we'll get that weekend will allow us to, if you haven't started Ngöndro practice, the preliminary practice will give you the empowerments that you need to begin. And then on Sunday, there'll be a Vajrasattva empowerment. Both of those teachings are going to be at 10 in the morning, and at 2 in the afternoon, there'll be teachings by Khenpo Norgay on those two topics. So empowerment in the morning, and the teaching at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I would imagine both of them will be about 2 hours each, somewhere in that vicinity.
There's also refuge vow.
I'm sorry?
Refuge vows on Saturday afternoon.
That Khenpo will be giving refuge
There's still
vows
refuge vows, if you have never
on
gone to
Sunday
refuge,
afternoon.
or you can get a refuge name.
And people will receive refuge names.
Is that on the
Don't have one
18th?
already, or maybe
Yeah.
good enough.
18th Saturday afternoon for the refuge vows.
Okay.
Yep.
Oops. Also, today, if you have some time, at Locals in Poolsville, we're participating in a special event called Empty Bowls. And with the price of your ticket, what it does is it goes to help fund something called Backpack Bites, and a summer program for feeding children in the agricultural reserve in Poolsville. And so basically what happens is that there are these wonderful bowls that have been made by students around the area and also special artists. And so the price of your admission gets you a bowl, but also a wonderful cup of homemade soup. So we're one of the sponsoring organizations for that particular event. And so if you want to go, it starts around 4:30 today. I think Khenpo's gonna go. You went last time, it was great, right?
Yeah, last 2 years.
Yes. So this is the third annual, so you all are very warmly invited to come. It's a wonderful community event, helping, put food on the table for children in need. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And it's traditional to make an offering for teachings that you received, and so there are baskets at the door before you leave. And also, we'll be serving some refreshments, so please join us for that right after, okay, right now.
Where is that? Where are the refreshments?
In the library.
There we are.
Library.